Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could strum through a song called Even If It Breaks Your Heart by the Eli Young Band. And it starts out with an introduction that works around some things we call power chords. And what chords are is where you're playing the root of a chord and just the fifth of a chord. And you basically could count this off on your fingers. We're going to start on an A5 chord, which is basically, if A was 1, A, B, C, D, E would be a 5. So what you want to do is play an A note with an E note at the same time. So basically we're going to take the first finger and go low E string on the 5th fret, and then the third finger on the A string on the 7th fret. And if you strum just those two strings together, that makes an A5 power chord, or just an A5. And you're strumming just those two strings. And then basically our intro is kind of moving around that shape that we're on right now. We're going to be doing on the low E on the 5th for an A5. And then if you take that shape and slide it down to 3rd fret on the low E and 5th fret on the A, that's called a G5 because we're playing a G and G, A, B, C, D, so D notes, so G and a D. And then from there we're going to be going to a C5, which all we got to do is switch strings. We're going to go from the low E string and the A string to the A string 3rd and the D string 5th. And then together those make a C5 power chord. And then from the C5 power chord, we're going to be going to the low E string on the 1st fret, and then taking the 3rd finger and going A string on the 3rd for an F5. And then from the F5 power chord, we're going to go from F5 back to the C5, and then back to the G5. So we got A5, G5, C5, F5, F5, C5, G5. But then there's some rhythm that gets added to that. That sounds like it's something called right hand muting, where if you take the flat side of your right hand and kind of lay it down on top of the saddle, or like really near the bridge, you can kind of get a muted quality out of your strings. So I'm just doing all downstrokes on these, but I'm kind of getting a muted kind of sound. So from the beginning, we're going to take the A5 and do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. But then we go down 2 frets to G5 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're taking a 4/4 bar and kind of splitting it 3 plus 5, which is kind of weird. So you got A, 1, 2, 3, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, 1, 2, 3, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to be going to the C5 for 4, C5, and then we're going to the F5 for 4, and then we're going to do the F for 3, F, 2, 3, but then we go to C for the 5, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 notes, and then we're going to go to the G5 and do A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically from the beginning you got A1, A, 2, 3, G for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C for 3, 1, 2, 3, or for 4, and then F for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then F for 3, 1, 2, 3, and then C5 for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go to the G5 for 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all together you got A, G, C, F, C, G, A5, G5, C5, F5, F5, C5, G5. And basically that feel kind of continues for the first verse, but we mix up a little bit of how we're moving around with the chords. And now it kind of turns into either 4 on each or 8 on each. So for the verse, if you're going to follow that power chord idea, you'd have A5 for 1, 2 for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then G5 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C5 for 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then we do the F for 4, C4, and then G for 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we almost kind of repeat that. We do the A, G, C, and then we do a F, C, G, and then more G. But what these power chords are really kind of implying is some major chords that actually kind of come in on our chorus. And so basically on our chorus we're going to start on an F major chord. And the way you play an F major, if you know the bar F major, you take your first finger and put them across the entire first fret, And we're going to talk about an easier way to kind of substitute this in a minute. But then you put 2 on the G on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the A on the 3rd fret, and the D on the pinky on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that makes an F major bar chord, which sounds really, really happy. But if you're just starting out and that's kind of difficult, what you could do is you could take the 1st finger and put them on the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the G on the 2nd fret, and the D string on the D, or the 3rd finger on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum just the top 4 strings, that's called an F major 7. So that can substitute in for your F chords if you're just starting out. That's a better way to go than the bar, but the bar sounds more powerful, so you may want to work on that. And then from there, we're going to go to a C major in our chorus. We got 1st finger on the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, then that makes a C major chord. So we've got kind of F major, C major, and then from there we're going to an A minor chord. And actually you can kind of leave 1st finger, 2nd finger where they are, but to walk through the whole thing, you got 1 on the B on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the G string on the 2nd fret. If you strum all those together, that makes an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor chord in the chorus, we're going to be going to a G major chord. And the way you play G major, 1st finger is going to go to the A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger is going low E on the 3rd fret, and the 3rd finger is the high E on the 3rd fret. If you strum all those together, that makes a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And that's basically our chorus is going to end up repeating that 3 times. So we're going to go F major, C major, A minor, G major, F major, C major, A minor, G major, F major, C major, A minor, G major, F major, C major, G major, C major. And then a lot of times with a song like this, even though on that first chorus it really does sound like he's just doing just the downs, like Eli Youngband's just doing downs. But a lot of times with a song like this, I like adding strum patterns to make them more interesting, especially when I'm playing them out solo. And so one of my favorite 4/4 strum patterns is something called down, down, up, down, up. So if we kind of took the C chord, for instance, we could just do a lot of that down, down, up on that just to kind of get used to that. So you'd have C with down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, up. So that's kind of a measure of 4/4 time. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the weird thing about this song is there's something called syncopation, where some of the chord changes don't happen where you would tap your foot on 1, 2, 3, and 4. They happen on the up foot. So if we took that strum pattern, like for instance on that first F and C, if you took the F major and kind of did the down, down of the strum pattern, and then went to the C chord for the up, and then up, down, up, then you would have something called a syncopated quality to those chords. So a lot of times when I'm playing through the song, a lot of times that's what I like to do, is kind of half the strum pattern between the 2 chords that are halving a bar. So if we were going to do the verse that way, just to try it, we got our verse power chords are actually kind of implying the chords we just talked about. So just to walk through the verse is a blocking thing. Actually, let's try that first. You got A minor, G major, C major, F major, C major, G major, A minor, G, C, F, C, G, G. So a lot of times if I'm covering a tune like this, sometimes I'll start out with like that power chord, like it's kind of an intro because people will recognize it. And then I might switch over to a strum pattern, and if we're going to do the verse with the strum pattern, this is a little weird. We're going to end up halving the A minor and the G at the beginning. So you start with the A minor going down, down, and then G on the up, down, up. And you may just want to try that a lot, just that A minor, down, down, G, up, down, up. A minor on the down, down, G on the up, down, up. And then right after that, we end up on a C with the whole down, down, up, down. So we got the C down, down, up, down, up. And then we're going to half the F and the C. So we got F with the down, down, C on the up, down, up. So you may want to try that a lot too on your own, just that F, down, C on the up, down, up. F on the down, down, C on the up, down, up. And then we end up on a G chord doing the whole strum. G with the down, down, up, down, up. And then a lot of that kind of repeats. So just to try that whole verse all the way through, you got A minor, down, G on the up, down, C down, down, up, down, F on the down, down, C on the up, down, G down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, G on the down, C down, 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 F on the down, down, C on the down, and then we got a G down, 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 G down, 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 and then when you get to the chorus, it's more of the halving. You got the F down, down, C on the down, A minor down, down, G on the down, F on the down, down, C on the down, up, G down, or A minor, down, G on the down, F on the down, down, C on the down, A minor on the down, down, G on the down, F on the down, down, C, down, and at the end you do G and C halving. So then you got G down, C on down, up. So that would be another way to kind of do it, to kind of fill in the time, especially if you're covering it by yourself. And then from there, we're going to kind of an instrumental part that's very, very similar to the verse that we started with. We got A minor, down, G on the down, up, C, down, F on the down, up, F on the down, down, C on the down, G on the down, 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 and then kind of our intro kind of comes back in, like where you, and actually you could do what we just did with the strum pattern, or you could even go back to the very intro, but just to try the verse again, but because that's where you would be going, is to the verse right after that. It's kind of a chorus tag that's also the intro. So right after that, we're going back to our verse, and so we could try that with our strum pattern again. We got our A minor on the down, down, G on the down, C down, 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 F on the down, down, C on the down, G down, 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 A minor down, down, G on the down, C down, 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 F on the down, down, C on the down, G down, 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 and then we got our second chorus. So then we got F down, C on the down, A minor down, down, G on the down, F on the down, down, C down, A minor down, down, G on the down, F down, down, C on the down, A minor down, down, G on the down, F on the down, down, C on the down, G down, down, C on the down, and then we get to our solo part, which is kind of a variation of almost the intro lick, where we got the A minor down, G on the down, C down, down, F, down, A minor down, down, G, up, down, up, and then we got the C down, 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 A minor down, down, G on the down, C on the down, down, F on the down, A minor down, down, G on the down, but then we got an F that's kind of the tag of that. F down, down, F down, down, down. Now another way you could do that solo is to do the power chords instead, and if you're doing it that way, then you have the A, G, C, F, A minor, G, C, A minor, G, C, F, A minor, G, F, F. So you could do it that way too, but I kind of like the strum pattern. But then from the solo, we're going to be going into the next verse. So we got A minor down, down, G on the down, C down, down, F on the down, C down, 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 A minor, down, G on the down, C down, 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 F on the down, down, C on the down, G down, 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 G down, 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 and then we're back to our chorus again. So then we got F down, down, C on the down, A minor down, down, G on the down, F down, down, C on the down, A minor down, down, G on the down, F on the down, down, C on the down, A minor on the down, down, C on the down, F on the down, down, C on the down, G on the down, down, C on the down, and then we do that again. band, so it's kind of double chorus. So we got F, down, C on the down, A minor, down, C on the F, down, C, down, A minor, down, C on the down, F on the down, C on the down, A minor on the down, C on the down, F down, C on the down, G down, C, down. So then we kind of have like a little tag to that where we got F down, C on the down, G down, 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 G down, 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 and then our outro is kind of like our intro. So we got A minor down, C on the down, C down, down, F on the down, F on the down, C on the down, G down, 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 A minor on the down, C on the down, C on the down, down, F on the down, F on the down, C on the down, G down, 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 A minor down, C on the down, C down, down, F on the down, F on the down, C on the down, G down, down, down. And on that last time through, actually, you just want to do a big G when you hit the G. So we have A minor down, G on the down, C on the down, F on the down, F on the down, C on the down, G. At the very, very end. So anyway, that's the basics of how you would strum Even If It Breaks Your Heart by the Eli Young Band. So good luck!